He's one of those guys that you need a thesaurus for to understand what he's saying, and I'm not smart enough to keep up, but it'll throw me off because sometimes I think he throws words in there just to see if you're listening. I'm not sure if that's what it is, but they'll say, well, what do you think, Stephen? And he'll be like, I completely, utterly, and quadrilaterally deny everything you just said. What does geometry have to do with this? Take the sine of the cosine and I'm incoherent in this situation. What are you talking about, man? The other guy who's a Monday Night Football now, John Gruden, probably a lot of people will say he's just like John Madden, and he's not, because John Madden was like the master of the obvious.
You know, I can tell you things that you probably already know.
And Gruden is the opposite. He tells you ridiculous things. Like, and if you don't know who he is, he's the guy that they call Chucky because he looks like that killer doll. I'll tell you what, that's some pretty good stuff there. But his nicknames don't make sense. That's one of my favorite things. Like usually they call him Lefty because he dribbles left-handed. Well, no, he's like, hey, they call that guy the milkman because he really delivers the bread. They call him the bread man or deliver the milk or something like that. And he makes me laugh because he's the most positive guy in the world. A piano could be hoisted up to the second story building. He could walk under it, it could fall on him, and he'd be positive about that. If it happened to us, we'd be hurt. But a piano falls on John Gruden, he'd be like, I'll tell you what, man, that piano fell on me, that hurt a little bit, but it sounded pretty cool, and my sinuses are cleared. Situation right there, man. That's some good stuff. You guys have been very polite too. That's another great thing. I like. That was great. She's like, yes, we've been pretty good. You have been. It's I know a couple people yell a couple things out. Sometimes people will yell things out and they get the names wrong. That probably is my favorite time. I was doing a show in Vegas and the guy yelled out, "Dude, Jack Nicklaus." Me being the jerk I am, I was like, Jack Nicklaus is a golfer. Jack Nicholson is an actor. You, sir, are a jackass. One of the best times was I hosted the NASCAR awards banquet a couple years, which is pretty cool. Lots of NASCAR fans would come out. One NASCAR fan in particular made me laugh than all the rest combined of all time, because the guy was in the balcony. I was doing a show in Las Vegas. He was like, "Dude, NASCAR!" He's gonna be pissed. He's like, "That was awesome! You nailed it, Frank!" I thought that was the end of it. He's like, "Who was that?" Tony Stewart. I knew it! I have the gift of clairvoyance, but not the confidence to represent it properly. That's exactly what he said, too. The audience not buying that for a second.
Here's a guy who just forgot the rest of his act.
Been there, done that. So have I.
Let me be clear. It's not that I forgot. I just choose not to remember. I am the keymaster. You the gatekeeper?
Just start throwing out random stuff. Because people will. And this is about the part of the show I can feel people start to get a little antsy. Like, he hasn't done Seinfeld yet. What do you mean I haven't? What are you talking about? What do you want me to do? Well, Jerry, you just let that cat right out of the bag. Right about now, the audience was wondering if they said anything, would Frank make fun of them or do what they'd asked for? Listen, I'm tired. I work 1 full hour a day.
Here's a guy who doesn't understand that stand-up comedy means you're supposed to stand up.
An audience who wasn't sure what was going on, and a comedian who'd already been paid.
Back
the matter was, if you could do this at your job, I'm pretty sure you'd do it too. Right about now, the audience was starting to wonder if Frank was gonna get back up. They were waiting and waiting. Waiting and waiting. Slowly they came to realize that day would never come. Just then, Frank had an idea. I didn't say it was a good idea. I just said it was an idea. Funny thing about ideas, they come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. This one came in the shape of that hamburger helper fella. Always wondered why he only had 3 fingers. Just then, something happened. And that's when the lights dimmed. Sounded like a cue to me too. Usually when the narrator in the show says that's when the lights dimmed, those lights were dim. Right about now, somebody was pretty worried about their job. Fact of the matter was, the audience was about to find out about this. Jimmy, the lighting director, had a drinking problem. He probably wasn't even here right now. See, Jimmy also had another job. He was also an air traffic controller.
Any questions before we get into our third and fourth hour? Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
I would say the team that scores the most points in that game.
That's because you have a Broncos jersey on. Do you also drive a Buick Murano?
I do everything Peyton does.
They're good. They're very good. They're yeah. Who do you guys root for out here?
49ers! Seahawks!
Steelers. Did you ever notice that Big Ben Roethlisberger looks like Wreck-It Ralph?
Oh, Rickett!
I love that you guys all think we all root for, and then everybody says a different team. The Raiders? Why? How long have you been rooting for them? It's not working. The Packers? Are you guys the Bears? Oh, Bears Packers fans in the parking lot after this. Mustaches versus cheese. New Orleans? Okay. Alright, I'll just sit here and we'll just talk about teams for the rest of the show. So I've never had this happen before. Everybody just, I like, remember the Houston Oilers? Thanks for cheering me up. Alright. Remember when I said you guys were polite and nice? I still mean it. What was it? Oh, hold on. This is too good. This is what I'm hearing. What? Caveman football with that guy.
Well, he'd be quiet for the rest of his life.
All right. I ran out of stuff like an hour and a half ago. So.
We're just going from bit to bit right now.
How about another round of applause for George Cantor, who was up there earlier?